not March 19th, though, it's March 26th.
Close enough.
We have Paul and Charlie and a guest. Who's
Yes,
our guest?
Fred.
Fred Rice.
Oh, okay.
You recognize him?
No,
I didn't either.
I guess because he's got a sweater on.
That's what he said. I'll go get my outfit.
Yeah, he's usually, he's biked with us quite a bit.
Right. Okay, under new business, we have the approval of the February meeting minutes.
Yes, I'll tender that.
Yep, second it.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Alan.
Hey,
I'm late.
Hi, Ellen.
Hi, Fran.
He-
Did you get my
We
message?
can't-
Oh, I had sent him a message. I was going to be a couple minutes late.
Under the next
Fred.
item under new
Fred and Alan.
business is committee vacancies. I sent out an email that I was forwarded from the administrator's office saying that we have a new committee member. Name's Alan Ferry.
Wrong one.
Jim Ferry.
Jim Ferry.
Jim Ferry.
Okay,
Yep, and no relation, huh?
No
Yeah,
relation.
after your
Not that we
email
know
went
of.
the next item on the agenda is the update to the vulnerable users law. Paul, do you have something to add?
I really don't. I think it's personally, I think it's a closed issue. You know, unless there's something else that Charlie might.
I read in the minutes of the selectmen meeting that they are forging ahead and they're going to put the notice. It still had a few hurdles to go through in the upcoming tax bill,
Sale
which would be a
Yep.
couple, 3 months.
Yep.
And I think that they were on board with it, and I think that they were, their sense was that it was going to happen.
Okay.
That's what I heard from our liaison, our board liaison.
Julie?
She said it would be going out with the July tax bill.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good. I know I've seen signs around town.
Yes,
What is that?
it's a
What
new
about,
bill that's passed that you have to allow 4 feet for
Oh, right.
safe
right.
pedestrian
Is that,
coverage.
isn't that the state?
That's state law.
We're just trying to get the information out there, so it's.
So the state
What
provided
about
free
fall?
signage to us,
And,
we just had to
Yeah,
install
how do you
it. So
measure it though?
DPW.
how about following up with the police department or Link to see if we can get a date to have that big message board put up, either at 137 or some location in town?
I think I volunteered to do that, and I completely forgot about it. I'm sorry about that. I think,
That's okay.
does that ring a bell? I think I
didn't
volunteered.
expect it
I
before.
Yeah.
can't remember what I'm saying.
I have experience
what
with
did
those
I miss?
message boards. I remember saying I could do this because I have experience with message boards, and I completely forgot about it. So let's make sure that's in the minutes, and I will make sure that
After.
it's addressed for the next meeting. So, I mean, and I'm going to be hopefully talking to Julie Kavanaugh after this meeting, and I can sort of use that to segue into police or DPW and getting the message board as well. So,
I don't understand. You're going to be talking to Julie about this meeting?
about the topic of the charge for
Oh.
this committee and the name,
Okay.
right? It's
Sorry.
an agenda
Okay.
item.
Yep.
And, like if we agree to move forward, then the next step is to speak with Julie about it, I believe.
Sure.
But anyway.
We're trying to revamp our charge.
Does the police have the ability to give a ticket or something?
No, the topic we're discussing right now is that the police and or DPW have these large variable message boards.
Oh, right.
You know, that you see on the side of the road.
Right, right.
And we want to request that they use one of those in a location for a week or two that reminds people that they must yield 4 feet when passing.
Right.
Vulnerable road users such as cyclists.
But I mean, do the police have the authority to.
Yes,
Oh,
100%.
yeah, that's enforceable.
I mean, the law was.
Try to prove,
Yeah.
you know, at that point, you know, you probably have hit the biker at that point, you know? Who knows? But, yeah, they do have the right to
The law
enforce
used
it.
to be 3 feet, and now it's 4 feet.
Yeah.
Alan, you're the next on the agenda for an update to the bikeways charge.
Okay, well, I rewrote, and we discussed a couple ideas at the last meeting, and I have a new charge proposal to read to you guys.
Ah.
All right, I'll read the original charge first, and then I'll read the new one. So the original one is let's see here. Oh, I don't even have it on my document, do I? Well, the current charge is pretty centered around safety and maintenance, and really kind of categorizes us into either like an extension of the DPW,
Yeah.
but it really doesn't address recreation or tourism, which I both think are components to the rail trails. And then when you talk about bikeways themselves, you know, it certainly has a component of connectivity
Sure.
in town. And it's not just the rail trails, it's also shared use lanes on roadways. Let's see here. The new charge that I've written, and we should probably
Wonder if you
pull
could,
up.
at some point, probably send it to us?
Yeah, I can share
Either
it
way,
on a
and we
doc.
can share it, and
Well,
then we
what I
can look at it. and
the
give you
idea
feedback.
behind this is we can work on it now. We can poo-poo it. I think, you know, the logical next step is if everybody agrees on the general idea around it, then I bring the topic to Julie Kavanaugh on the select board, and ask her, since she's our liaison, if this is something we can bring to the town to consider. So what I wrote is the Harwich Bikeways and Pedestrian Committee, as opposed to the Harwich Bikeways Committee. The Harwich Bikeways and Pedestrian Committee is dedicated to protecting, promoting, and improving the bicycling and walking infrastructure in Harwich. In collaboration with residents and community organizations, the committee advises the Harwich Select Board on fostering a culture of active transportation options in Harwich, which enhance community health, inclusivity, connectivity, and sustainability. So we are checking the recreation box.
Mm-hmm.
We're checking the transportation box. We are checking the equity or the inclusivity box of, you know, it's a more affordable means of transportation. And we're checking the sustainability, the environmental box, which some, but certainly not all of that is addressed by the current charge. And I just felt like the current charge is really focused on maintenance, which is not, it's not what's moving me
overall
right? Like we all
scope.
care about maintenance, but we care about a lot more than that.
Yeah, it's
I
safety
care
and
about-
everything else.
I
you know,
care about
and-
connectivity, about recreation, about getting, and it's not just about bikes on the rail trails. It's
Right.
also about walkers and runners and people that are in wheelchairs or people that
Yep.
are on scooters. So it's a lot more to me. And
It's a multi-use, you know.
yeah. So I can share that paragraph in an editable document if you guys want to edit it, or if you'd prefer, I could just, you know, read it again and take it as is to Julie Kavanaugh. Fran, do you have any thoughts on the process or insight on how to go about this?
I would think that if you distribute it to the committee first and then ask Julie for her vote, or ask her how do we go about moving it along. I don't know if there's a process within the select board that we have to they have to approve the name change and the verbiage. I'm not familiar with the politics involved.
Yeah, nor I. But I suspect that it's probably more than just,
Parliamentary politics.
I'll offer a suggestion that I think you should keep your meeting with Julie and show her the document. You've read it to us. Granted, we'd like to see it in writing so we could think about it, but still, she might say, well, this is the process, or this can't be in there. So it doesn't matter what we think. It more matters that I think it will move the process along, Fran. I agree with what you're saying, Fran.
good point. Like,
But,
we may be dead
yeah.
in the water on this, right?
Yeah,
So-
we can write whatever document you want, but it really has to meet with their
The town's getting
approval.
their charge changed.
Yeah, so I think,
Oh, really?
Or the board of, I was gonna say the select board is, I hear there's a committee that is looking at their charge.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, I'll read it one more time, and then,
All right.
unless anyone has any,
No, and
anything
then,
to add.
forward it to us
Okay.
after.
The Harwich Bikeways and Pedestrian Committee is dedicated to protecting, promoting, and improving the bicycling and walking infrastructure in Harwich. In collaboration with residents and community organizations, the committee advises the Harwich Select Board on fostering a culture of active transportation options in Harwich, which enhance community health, inclusivity, connectivity, and sustainability.
I like that.
I like it.
So I studied a lot of charges and mission statements from other bikeways and pedestrians committees. You know, and I mean, frankly, more often than not, they're bikeways and pedestrians committees.
Yeah.
They're not
They're not just bike ways.
bicycle committees.
Right.
You know, these are shared use paths and trails and roadways. And there's obviously a culture around the automobile that doesn't need our help. But everything else could use some advocacy and some protection. So, all right, I'll reach out to Julie today and keep you guys apprised of how that's looking, and hopefully we can move this forward.
Excellent.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Next,
Anything new, with that date to distribute bike lights along the, OCRT? We gonna meet with, Mass Bike or Cape Cod Commission? Charlie, didn't you send out an email about?
I didn't send out that email. I read it and gave some thought on it. I think the Cape Cod Commission, I'm sure, would want to do either after hours during the week or a weekend. They wanted to do it in May. And in my thinking, May is really kind of just the start of the bike season, and it would be very weather dependent. But I think if you held it in the morning, say when the pickleball folks are there, you've got a captive audience of probably 50 or 60 people. And you could even sneak that table close so that they can't miss us.
Sure.
Because it's close in both places.
Yeah.
So that might be, if we're gonna hold it in May, that maybe we recommend a morning in May.
Yeah. Now,
And-
you know, of course, Chris is so involved, you
Yeah.
know, what time is a good time? Because
Well, they start at
right
8,
now
so-
it's still open, right?
Yes. 9 o'clock is probably as good a time as any. Say 9 to 11,
11.
a couple hours.
9 to 12,
9,
whatever.
yeah. They're usually gone by 12.
Okay.
I'm
And,
looking for that email.
On May 2nd, right now, from what I remember that email.
it was May 2nd. And Fran, who communicates with them? Because I didn't communicate with them.
I know oh, sorry, go ahead, Fran.
No, I didn't have anything.
I know I
just remember
communicated
seeing
with
an
them
that
thinking,
Charlie sent, about meeting at the pickleball courts or he suggested to the Cape Cod Commission about that location.
no, I think if I remember the email, Charlie just said that, like, thank you for choosing Harwich kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think they
yeah.
chose it.
Yeah.
I reached out to them when we were talking about lights for the J1 students and seeing who might be a good contact in this area. And I think it spun off from there. I also reached out to, I think it's Gail off the top of my head, Cape Cod Commission, because when they did their head counts, the electronic head counts, Harwich was zero. If you looked into it, into one of the charts, Harwich was zero for a long time. So maybe a year. So I went back to her and said, I think you got something wrong with one of your counters, it seems to be zero and off the chart. And she said, no, we were short some counters, and they're looking to get some more monies to purchase more counters, so they're moving counters around, and they pulled it from Harwich. Lo and behold, I think that's where some of this spun off to, and she gave me a couple of contact names that is involved with J1 students and bikers. And so I guess I'll keep on talking here. I reached out to Matt and Catherine Boyle. They're here in Harwich, very involved with J1 students, very involved. Like last year, he said they gave out like 1,800 and some odd backpacks and lights and whatever. They're two ministers here in town.
Oh, wow.
And they're just very active in getting J1s. I think they've also housed a few J1 students. So they stay in that loop. And so I've been in touch with them a little bit, and we're very different. They want to be focused on just the J1s, versus we promoting, and I discussed with them about, the bike path and everything else. So I think at the beginning, especially when J1s start to hit the road here, they might be able to help. They might have some backpacks for them. I don't know. I did reach out to them via email saying, that we're Cape Cod Commission is planning an outing here in Harwich on May 2nd. Don't know what time yet, but didn't know if they could reach out to even some of the J1 students at that point in time. So that's a long story of how I think a lot of this started to accumulate, and I'm not sure how involved I want to be with J1 students, but we want to promote safety on the rails and stuff, and if they're willing to hand a few things out. I know they were talking in that email that Cape Cod Commission was even going to have helmets. I think it was helmets, lights, and something else available, if I remember that email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember helmets, but yeah.
On May 2nd. So I don't know. So I haven't gotten a response from Matt or Catherine yet at this point, but the more the merrier, I guess, if whoever wants to, if they can attend on May 2nd.
Yeah.
So that's how that kind of spun off, Fran.
Okay. The next item on the agenda I have is the news of the Chatham's OCRT project. I did speak with, I should say spoke, I emailed Bob,
Oliver.
right, the chairman of the Chatham Bikeways Committee, and he said that everything's on schedule along George Ryder Road, and the project should be completed by the middle of May. So if anybody's out there on George Ryder Road, perhaps you can update us at the next meeting.
Oh, I've been there probably every other day over the last 3 weeks.
Running.
I've been monitoring the progress. I've been taking photos, and they're moving quickly. So at this point they've got the retaining wall with barricades from 128 all the way up to the eastern extension of the bike path, like just south of the airport.
Yeah.
And they've now started focusing on the stretch from the bike path along that American Legion parking lot and adjacent to the airport on the east side of the road. But they've also done at least hard pack and maybe like a T-base layer
Okay.
on the west side of the road, on the southbound side. Probably starting 100 or so yards south of the actual rail trail.
Okay.
We're just north of the airport or just next to the airport. So the exit from the rail trail on the west side of the road onto George Ryder Road, so like right next to the police station, has been torn up for at least 2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
To the point now where you actually have to go into the grass. Like if you're on a bike, it's actually pretty difficult to get from the rail trail onto the road. If you're on foot, you can sort of navigate through the trees.
Right.
But it's completely torn up and marked off with caution tape. But it's coming along pretty quickly, and I see them out there every single day. Well, at least until 3 p.m.
Gotta stay in shape, right? A few weeks, you'll be
Yeah, I got
running the big one.
3 more weeks.
Okay.
Okay, the
Then,
next item on the agenda is the upcoming Friends Cape Cod Rail Trail meeting. I don't have anything new. Kathleen did cancel the March meeting, and she didn't publish a date for the April meeting.
Fran, can I just ask a favor? I didn't get a message she canceled. So when you get a message that there's a meeting, can you just let me know?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, that'd be good.
And
Probably for the whole team.
I'll offer a follow-up, Fran, on the Friends. I'll state it this way. I'm aware of a rumor that funding has been procured for repaving the rail trail from Orleans to Eastham this summer. And I don't know any particulars. We were so excited and threw a party. I don't have any real documentation, but I don't know why funding.
I think I saw the same. I think I saw something official about that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I heard it. I heard it from the
If I could connect to our Wi-Fi,
Our-
there's no public Wi-Fi.
rail
apparently.
trail police officer, Bernie,
Oh, Bernie.
wrote me
Oh,
and
sure.
told me that.
Okay.
So I'm sure that he heard
He
from an
knows.
official source. So that to me, that is wonderful news.
Is the community center Wi-Fi that's protected? Is that supposed to be for the community? What's his name?
So anyway, Fran, I don't know if that.
Is there a Wi-Fi network that's available for us?
I think it's community center.
It's password protected.
There should be a general one as well.
Let's see what's on my.
All right, I'll try to turn it off and back on. See if I can find it. Thank you.
Fran, that, and I would also hazard to say that could be just repair. The email I got said repaving, but I don't know. Okay,
okay.
but I think that was a bit of good news.
Yeah.
And they got their blower fixed because the trail is well
it's
cleaned
clean.
off. Yeah, it's in a very clean state. The bumps didn't get any smaller though, Fran.
If they repair it out in Eastham, that'll be good.
Any problems to report about the OCRT?
I say it's clean too, but I haven't ridden it in a few weeks. But it looked good the last time I rode. It's been maybe 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's when it was warm. It's back
Yeah.
freezing
There was,
again.
there was a pretty bad drainage issue at the Rotary for like a solid 2 weeks
Yeah.
after the snow. The water was pooling on the southwest.
Not where they repaired
Portion.
it like a year or so ago, where there's a lot of like
No.
groundwater. I mean,
No.
stones and stuff.
No, on the southwest quadrant of the Rotary. So like the dentist side.
Okay.
It was, you had to basically go in the grass there.
Really?
Yeah, it was the entire width of the path.
check it out
I
and,
took photos. I'll share them with you.
Oh, yeah, because I would send it to Link. He probably, on that rotary, whose responsibility is it?
Yeah.
At that point, is it?
But it's dried up now?
It's all gone.
It
now,
was
but
during the time.
It
I
was
just
when we
didn't
had
see it.
snow and then ice, and then
Oh.
someone had taken a vehicle onto the path, and then it created like compact
yeah.
snow, which then turned into ice that didn't melt for like a solid week or two. But I mean, look, it was just whatever. It's winter, so
Yeah, it's winter, We'll see what happens after.
nothing
let's say
nothing
Thursday.
unusual to report, Fran.
Okay, the last item I have for the agenda is, the next meeting date.
Next meeting date, I would propose that be Tuesday, April 23rd, or Tuesday, April 30th.
You said 23rd or 30th?
Yeah.
How about 23rd? What's everybody's schedule? What's your schedule, Fran, for the 23rd?
All right, it's okay, as long as it's the afternoon.
Let's do,
You're going to stay with then on Tuesdays is a good day for everyone?
Tuesday, April 23rd, 1 p.m. Does that work for everybody?
Yep. Works for me. Fran?
What time?
1?
Okay,
Fran, I want to just bring up one other subject when you're done.
go ahead.
We talked about a joint meeting with the Chatham Bikeways Committee. And just in speaking with Bob, just in personal conversation, I said, well, we ought to wait till Fran gets back from Florida, which I think is May. I'm not sure, Fran.
Yes,
And so that's kind of my vision about when that would occur. And, the two main topics for that meeting would be the speed limit and the mileage.
Say the
delineating-
markings.
The markings.
Yep.
The mileage markings. So, maybe you could forward an email to Bob, or if you'd like me to, I will.
Yeah, just to get things, I guess, started.
Just to
That'd
say,
be good.
yeah, we're thinking
You know?
of May. Is there a good date for you? Or, when you get back.
well, Bob did say that the, construction on the Chatham OCRT is supposed to be done in the middle of May.
Yeah.
So maybe we should meet after that?
Yeah.
Or-
Yeah. Just somewhere along in the beginning of the summer so we can get to the project of, putting the mileage out. And as you say, we would
And
want
have it-
that to be done before doing it, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But I like Charlie's idea, Fran, that, put the little feeler out to Chatham, just to say, hell yeah, well, put us in the background here, middle of May or whatever, that we'd like to get together.
Okay,
Before we adjourn, there's an update on the transportation outreach event. An email came in from David Nolan at Cape Cod Commission while we were meeting. David wrote, "Thank you all for getting back to me and the feedback on possible times. I think a mid-morning outreach event would be a great idea to encompass the pickleball crowd as well as the trail users. I would propose a 9 to 11, and we could stay longer if people are engaging still. If
Yeah.
you think this is a good idea, I'll get that on our calendar and we will have some notices go out for a May 2nd outreach event at Brooks Park." Are we all
Yeah.
in favor of that?
I
I'm in
agree.
favor.
All right, so we'll do that.
May 2nd.
And,
second.
motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second it.
All right, meeting adjourned.
Thanks, Fran.
Thanks, Fran.